Hey guys, be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram for extra content you won't see here. Click the links in the description below.
Hey, what's up guys? eRun94 back again here with another action figure review. And I figured I'd go ahead and do the community a favor and bring you guys a decent review on these guys here. The Demoniacal Fit SH Figuarts Captain GINYU figure. Super stoked, been very excited for this. They went ahead and took their time with it. It was actually slated to release in the summer, slated whatever, it's not official or anything. But this is the same company that made the different heads for Goku and Vegeta, the Super Saiyan Blue, all those that I've reviewed so much. Check those out, by the way. I have them all up for review. They started it all out with the Tien and Yamcha set, which is probably the best one so far. Anyways, they went ahead and dove into the action figure territory of this, and they're making their own figures now, and they're making characters that, you know, Bandai Tamashii just hasn't made yet, and I'm all for it. You know, they're going for the entire GINYU force, and even some Frieza soldiers here. So we're going to take a look at GINYU first. Look at the box. They even resemble the official Tamashii boxes, which is insane. You don't see the logo of Dragon Ball Z anywhere here. You don't see SH Figuarts or Bandai anywhere here, so I guess they can get away with it because of that. They even put their own logos here, but I like that they did this. They did the same design here. You can even display it alongside your other official ones if you so desire. And here's a little comparison next to a normal box. This is the Goku one, so you can really see how much bigger GINYU is next to the normal Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. On the side we have Special Force Captain. They can't even use his real name either, so they had to do this right here. On the other side we have some images of the figure, which they did a pretty good job at, you know, capturing it, and it's pretty good quality there. On the back side we get very similar to what we get on the real ones. We have Special Force Captain, Super Modeling, Super Action, 6-inch action figure series, Demoniacal Fit. Probably in Chinese, not Japanese, but either way I can't read it. And we can even see a little tease over here on the side. We have Captain GINYU next to Jace. Get it open, guys. Alrighty, and here we have him out of the box. First impressions, let's see. I gotta remind myself that this isn't made by Tamashii, so it's just another company doing their own thing here. And with that said, I think, this came out pretty decent. Honestly, if this was something that Tamashii did, maybe I would have been like, could have been better. But overall, I think for what it is, for Demoniacal Fit's first figure, they did a pretty good job. It really is a pretty good looking GINYU figure here. Do got my gripes for it. There is a lot of quality control issues, and don't let that scare you right off the bat. You know, stay tuned for what I have to say. But for the most part, this is pretty good. Very happy with it so far. I think it was pretty well worth the wait for me. Alright, so we got in package a pair of fists already attached, and we have a normal neutral face with the scouter on. Alright, so he does also come with some karate chop hands here, and then if you do notice the difference there, I did switch out the face, and this one has a slight smirk on it. This was the one I had on before, so you can see a little difference there. Here we have an wide open pair of hands here, and this is actually the same smirking face but without the scouter, and they went ahead and gave us a whole new head for that, because when you remove the scouters are removable, but it's no use because he doesn't have an ear. It's just going to look awkward without it, but these are removable, so they could get lost. If anything, they should have just molded it on there or glued it on there, because they give us the same head without it, and now you have the ear there, so it doesn't look weird. And the last pair of hands that he comes with are pointing finger hands here. And he also comes with an open mouth yelling face. They did give us another head sculpt just for that with the scouter on. Same deal that we had before. And something regarding these fingers. These fingers look huge on this hand. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think the same. But it looks a little too big. Just the index finger. They went a little crazy with that one. It looks huge compared to the other fingers. Alright, so GINYU itself is painted fairly nice. He is missing a lot of shading. A lot of people mentioned that in the Facebook groups I've seen. And there's no shading, so the line work on the guard, on the armor is not, it's there, sculpted. You could easily shade it yourself, but they did not shade it for us. And his entire, skin tone or body is just the purple, and there's no shading anywhere there. But as far as I can see, The purple's matching everywhere. It's pretty consistent. Even the non-painted, just solid plastic parts like the joints, they match with the painted arms and the painted torso and the neck. Pretty good there. They're doing a pretty good job. Their quality control wise with paint, it looks good. There's some parts, I'll zoom in a second, where it's not perfect, but even Bandai doesn't get it right sometimes, or I guess I should say Tamashii. They even painted the GINYU Force logo very nicely there too. So let's zoom in a little bit. Let's take a look at some more the paint and details on this guy. Alright, so I do like the sculpt on the head. They painted his head nicely, got the veins there popping out like crazy. His horns came out good. The eyes are pretty clean, very good there. So they're doing a good job overall for an original sculpt. Not bad at all. So here is that logo. The GINYU logo came out clean as can be. Down to the torso. Now I did see these little screws here. Gold screws. They're very visible. Can't really hide it. That's a little bothersome. Don't like that. That goes for both arms there. Oh, and I did notice people mentioning this being a crack. That's actually not a crack. That's just like a line or a seam in the plastic when I guess the plastic meet, or where they cut the plastic. It's not cracked. It does look like a crack though. Not even showing it. There it is. So that's just a line. Even some of the official ones have that, but there it is on the back too. It's just a seam. It does look bothersome. It does look like a crack, but just want to confirm that it's not actually cracked. You can see it's really loose too. And sometimes that does happen with the official ones, but not as bad as this. So it's a little loose there for that groin piece. Not too horrible there. Anyways, going down to the legs, there you go. So some QC issues I did catch. If you take a look at the side of this fist, the purple, and then when you turn it to the front, it gets a little light. Don't think that was them trying to do that on purpose. I just think that's just a little QC issue because this hand doesn't have it. It's all consistent there. There's even a little scrape there. So you can see it has its issues. One of these arms I did see, here you go, on the back. You can see some weird stuff going on with the plastic. There's like a big line, like a little cut. That's just on that arm or that hand. And this is not the biggest deal, but on the tip of the horn, very hard to see. The paint's missing, at least on this horn, and you can see some purple there. I have this feeling that the quality of the paint and just the whole entire quality control is just going to range from good to bad depending on the one that you get based on luck. Overall, I think this one came out decent. It's not too horrible, but I can definitely see some others being not so good. Hopefully not, but it's just something that happens with Chinese figures like that. So articulation, let's get into it. We have the head. It's on a ball jointed hinge, very similar to the official ball jointed hinge for Tamashii's Figuarts. Pops in and out very easy. His neck is a separate piece, but it doesn't seem to articulate, or it doesn't articulate as much. Yeah, it doesn't articulate. So you can still move the head down about this far. Of course, when the jaw hits his neck, it's not going to move any further. Looks up fairly well. The head's going to go left and right. Pretty good there. So you can see already there is a hinge on the armor. So the arms can hinge, so it doesn't really hinder if you want to spread his arms apart. But, well, that came off. Let's see if it goes back in. Yep, there you go. Snap back in. So as you can see, if you move it upwards too much, it's going to snap off, but you can put it right back in just fine. So I guess as far as you can move it, it's like this before it snaps off. The arms will move forward, and they will move back. They're going to go in and out. So far, so good on the build. The arms are holding its own. It's not loose at all. So that's good to see. And then also want to point out that once you have the arms straight down, this is the straightest down you can get the arms. So you can see it still has a little bit of an angle out. That's just how it is. So you see under here, there's just no more room to bend it straight. His arms do have bicep swivels. We get the double jointed elbows here. They bend this much. We have a wrist swivel. It's on a hinge, ball jointed hinge, just like the official one, so good range there. They pop in and out very easy and very well, so I like that. There is torso articulation. There was some controversy at some point about not having torso articulation, but he does have it. I think they took a photo one time with their finger over it. But he does have it. We can swivel it a little bit here, so good movement. You can move it back, but we do get a little bit of a gap. This actually can pop up. It looks ugly, of course, but you just move it down. Bending forward will go a lot, but of course we will have a huge gap on the back here. That's just how they did it here. So moving back will do the same thing, but we have the gap on the front. So not a lot you can do until you see the gap there. Still nice that we have it though. You can still tilt him left and right. We do get a waist swivel, good swivel there. We have these armor pieces on the sides that hinge very well, just like the Vegeta Scouter. The legs will go forward. They are the loosest part I found on this figure. So you can see here, they'll hold its own, but it's a little too loose for my liking. See how easy that is? They move down. So yeah, that's my figure. Don't know if that's consistent with all of them. Could be, could not. But yeah, I found that. But they do move forward and back. They do go in and out. Let's see how far they go in and out. Not too far, honestly. The joint system they did here is very different. Almost their own original take on it. Because I don't think Bandai Tamashii does this here. Very different. But that's as far as he moves out. And you can see how loose that is. See that? So he wouldn't even hold the pose if you had him kick him to the side, I guess. But there's that. There is a thigh swivel. These were very tight when I took them out the box. So maybe I contributed to the looseness of it once I was trying to untie it. But I wasn't going to have his leg stuck in that position. The knees are good. Here we have double jointed knees. We have no shin swivel. We do have an ankle swivel. We have an ankle pivot. It's a ball joint in there. We can hinge it forward and back. And then we do get a toe hinge. Super stiff. But there it is. And then I did see this. They did mark the bottom of the feet with Demoniacal fit. Hard to see in the video, but yeah, they put Demoniacal fit on the foot. Before I forget to mention, he does come with this little butterfly joint for the shoulders. Alright, so let's take a look at a height comparison here. We'll get him next to Goku here. And of course, he is taller. I'd say the height and scale is pretty good. He's definitely taller, way taller than Goku. This one's hard to tell, but in this scene here, we have GINYU holding Goku, and seems like he is taller, but who knows if he's on his knees or he's standing straight up. But I think the scale is pretty good. Now, I'm interested to see what they're going to do when they do Berter and Recoome, because they are huge next to GINYU. GINYU's tall as it is, but Berter and Recoome just are... I just had a picture. Where's he at? They were a lot... Well, here's them facing off each other, so I guess I don't know. Seems like they're almost the same height in that picture, but that could be inaccurate. Here we have this picture of the GINYU Force, and we see Berter and Recoome taller than him, but there was another one where he was just towering over GINYU. You see here how GINYU is just dwarfed underneath Berter and Recoome, but when we look at this picture down here, they aren't that big next to GINYU, but yeah, still interested to see they're going to be a lot bigger than GINYU. Anyways, there's the height next to Goku. I think it's pretty well done. If anything, they could have maybe made him a little bit shorter, just a tad bit, and it would have been perfect, but I think I'm okay with this. Next to a much bigger figure, we'll put Broly next to him here. That's how he stands next to Majin Vegeta. Alright, and there we have him next to the other Demoniacal fit figure they released, the Frieza Soldier figure. And you can see that one stands a little taller than GINYU. Alright, so I managed to get him into this pose here. So posability isn't too bad here. The only thing that I just feel like he should have had is just having the legs spread a little bit more. As you guys saw when I articulated him, the legs just wouldn't go out any further. And that kind of sucks unless I'm doing something wrong. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't go any further than that. And my fear with this is, of course, over time, the more you pose them, the more loose the legs are going to get, you know. So the legs are already loose as it is. For me, they'll hold a pose every once in a while, but it seems like they just get more loose over time. So there is that to worry about too. So is it a buy or a pass? I'm going to say it depends. It really does, because you're still spending around $50 for this guy, which is the average price of a real official Figuarts figure. So it's up to you. Hopefully this review helped determine your decision. Hopefully it made it a little easier. Just my personal thoughts. I like it. It just has its issues that they need to address. When it's all said and done, I think it's cool that another company is taking it into their own hands to give us the GINYU Force for the SH Figuarts line. Hopefully this lights a fire under Tamashii's behind and gets them to make an official release of the entire team. But for now, this will hold it down until we get the official release of the GINYU Force. Anyways, before I start talking too much, I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like down below, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on this figure. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out my other content. Stay tuned for more, and as always, have a great day.